They have a wide variety of images. We saw here the kind of everyday type of images, but we also have radical, political, inspiring images now that aren't tied to fear, they're tied to hope and to the future, rather than to the past and traditionalization and to simplification of our identities. So I think that is motivating people. Well, I know it's motivating people like Horowitz to amp up their stupidity and to increase their desperate attempt to find that niche market amongst the fearful. In his website in the last couple of months, what has he been talking about? Well, he's been trying desperately to counter our understandings of what's going on in the Middle East with more simple and more narrow frameworks. He's been constantly railing against people like Michael Moore and others that have been able to see the links between what's happening in Wisconsin and what's happening in Sacramento and what happened in Tunisia and what happened in Cairo. Horowitz is railing against how can people be so idiotic as to think a teachers' union in Wisconsin has anything in common with what's going on in Tahrir Square in Cairo, even though these groups are dealing with each other, talking to each other, helping each other out, sending each other pizzas to support each other. They are literally linked together, just like these groups here are linked together. So when Horowitz attacks the idea of that possibility, he's trying to reimpose this kind of framework that simplifies these identities and which makes change impossible because it prevents people from coming together. So that's there's a particular, it's not just ignorance, there's a particular political project behind what he's doing. And it's the project that split us up in 9/11, but which can't split us up anymore because our imaginations are changed and the spaces in which we live and identify are so totally changed now. So it's great, I think, at this point, because his time has passed and because a new set of solidarities and identities has risen, now we have basically to thank Horowitz. He's basically become the Mubarak of the university community. He is that eccentric man of another age that no longer can possibly intimidate or hold us back anymore. His figure only serves as a rallying point to bring us together. So in that interest, want to translate a little bit the mobilizing slogans of the Egyptian and Tunisian revolution so that we can adapt it to our particular gathering tonight. So who knows what the slogan of the Egyptian revolution is? Tunisian revolution. So it's about, in English, it's the people want the downfall of Mubarak, or the people want the downfall of Assad, or whatever. So tonight we'll do like the people want the downfall of hate. We won't give Horowitz the glory of standing in that place. So do we know how to say that? الشعب يريد إسقاط الكراهية. Alright? الشعب يريد إسقاط الكراهية. الشعب يريد إسقاط الكراهية. الشعب يريد إسقاط الكراهية. Alright? يحيى شاب موحد. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So our next panelist is in the bathroom right now, handling her business. And so, let's see. Do people have questions? Because I really want to make sure that people's questions are addressed by the panelists. And so if you could just pass them that way if they are ready, this way, or I guess outward. Okay. Our panelist is ready. She is out of the bathroom. Okay.
All right, you gotta do what you gotta do. Here we go. So up next, we have a really amazing, inspirational person on this campus, a student who has dedicated her life actually to fighting for social justice causes, and who is currently a member of Students for Justice in Palestine. Please give a warm welcome for Nora Alfred.
What I want to talk about today was to follow up with, I received a text one day. My friend told me that College Republicans was going to approach Legislative Council and ask for money to fund his hate speech. And when I received that text, I freaked out, vented on Facebook, as always, and I decided to attend the Legislative Council meeting because of the video I recalled the video of Horowitz at Brooklyn College describing Palestinians as quote-unquote morally sick. I'm not Palestinian myself, but that really resonated with me because I feel like Middle Eastern people, Palestinians, Iraqis, Iranians, Libyans, their lives aren't taken as seriously as non-Middle Eastern lives or Western lives. So it really hurt me to hear that, and because I very much support the right for Palestinians to be recognized as human beings, who have the right to exist. I attended the meeting with other allies like Sophia and Danielle Ramirez, I don't know if she's here, and Chris Rod and other amazing people. And it was a very exhausting meeting in which I felt there was no sympathy or empathy for Muslims on campus, and a lot of the talk revolved around the feelings of the Republicans, the Republican Party, and how they felt that they were being marginalized, that they were a minority on campus. And I felt that was a personal affront to me as a Muslim who has been kicked out of the gas station, who's being called a sandmaker, for him to equate my experience with his, saying that I am a marginalized person in the same way that, you know, this white male standing in front of Legislative Council is a marginalized person. I couldn't tolerate that. So a bunch of us, you know, were raising our hands. So I and other like-minded people attempted to, you know, speak out against this self-characterization of the college Republicans as quote-unquote minorities. But because Legislative Council, if a member doesn't at Legislative Council, I didn't see the empathy that I wanted to see. But now I'm here and I see all of you, and I want to thank you for being here and really showing that you do empathize with the Muslim community as well as other marginalized communities. And I'm glad that we all could get together, you know, BSU, QSU, Hillel, as, you know, true minorities on this campus, and we were able to unite on this one front against a hate monger who doesn't represent the Jewish community. Although he is a Jew, he obviously doesn't come from a place that's you all are expressing this empathy, and I just feel very hopeful and happy. In comparison to how I felt on Ledge Council, I feel much better now, and I want to thank everyone who organized this. And that's all I have to
Thank you, Noah. I love you. Okay. Okay. All right. So the next speaker that we're going to have is a member of the Youth We Respect Coalition. He's done a lot of great work with us. He's the Secretary for American Students for Israel. And without further ado, I present to you Max Semerald.
All right, I'll keep this relatively short. I don't have much public speaking experience, so bear with me. Thank you. So, I joined this coalition because I believe that the MSA on this campus does not deserve the accusations being made against it by David Horowitz. And I didn't take anyone's word for it. I did hours of research on my own before deciding that this was the right thing to do. As somebody that is relatively objective, I can say without a doubt that the UCSB MSA does not have any ties to terrorism.